my eyes are opened to the industry of Christian music, which is to me a very unfortunate. Basically, every time a church sings a copyrighted song, they have to pay for a license to put those lyrics up on the screen. And some of my friends who had a #1 were like, bro, trust me, when these checks come in, you're gonna freak out. Like, get your tax attorneys ready. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. And then the checks started coming in and I was like, oh.
Ruslan.
So Corey, you're also coming at this like since you're like exploding on the internet for your personality and some of your hot takes, but then you also have this pretty gnarly background with Reckless Love and just being a bit of a staple in the evangelical Christian worship world. And you've been called a heretic because you use the word reckless, like just the stupidest. Well, just so you know, as much as I've defended you privately, I've defended you decades ago. Like this is stupid. Like it's not because like at the time it was all the Reformed people, it was all the theology nerds, which I was, you know, I like some of that stuff, and it was like, well, the love of God is never reckless. I'm like, it's a song, like it's art, poetry. It's poetry. It's embellishing. That's not a theological statement. So I want you to know, like, I've defended you privately before there was an internet.
Thank you, my friend.
Right, and I thought the critique was always weird. Like, that's just such a stupid thing. And I saw it in the comments recently, like oh yeah, the love of God is never reckless.
Right,
it's
reckless command. It's our view of You're like it's whatever you want it to mean, man.
And so you're on the internet now, and you're kind of within the space. You have this big record, but you're also doing other stuff and touching other genres. And to me, it seems like some of this stuff is a bit cathartic for you. And you shared a little bit about in that video about like your own upbringing and humor and how that's always been a thing. Tell me a little bit about that and just how you're kind of watching the landscape of all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I came up in Kansas City leading worship 12 hours a week, 6 2-hour sets at a place called the House of Prayer, which has come under a lot of scrutiny lately. We won't get into that, hopefully. And I made zero money. You know, I made $500 a month. My wife and I got married. We made $700 a month. We had our first kid there, leading worship so much because I loved the presence of God and I loved singing to him. So, you know, I'm coming from nothing in this space, and my heart is just, I want to worship God. I want to love God, and this is what I do. So all of a sudden, a song pops off a few years into this, but I've got this foundation that's like, I don't care. You know, the rooms were not full when I was leading worship back in that day. There was literally 3 people in the room most of the time. So when I'm leading worship, I want purity. So this song pops off, right? Reckless Love goes nuts. And back then virality was a little different, but it still existed. And on the internet, it was going nuts. On CCLI, which is, you know, church licensing, basically churches playing the song. It was going nuts. And it was beautiful. I considered it such a blessing, and it was so amazing. But as I got deeper into that world, the Christian music industry, and saw how it was, especially within the worship space, I saw so many people perverting it because they saw that when you write a song that blows up in the church, it makes a lot of money.
Can you explain CCLI for that? Because that's a thing that once you discover and you go, whoa, this is crazy. And there's a lot of folks that have become extremely successful and wealthy off of CCLI. Some have deconverted, some have walked away. And, you know, and it's just a weird, it's a
polarizing thing. Yeah. So CCLI, I think it's Church Copyright Licensing Incorporation or something like that, Incorporated or something. Basically, every time a church sings a copyrighted song, they put it up on the screens, right? So the people can listen to it and sing along. They have to pay for a license, typically a blanket license for a year, depending on how big their church is, to put those lyrics up on the screen, which is crazy. So Reckless Love was #1 on CCLI for 2 years. And I didn't understand what that was going to mean financially at that time. And some of my friends who had a #1 were like, bro, trust me, when these checks come in, you're going to freak out. Like, get your tax attorneys ready. And I was like, whatever, dude. Like, it's not a reality. Like, that's not going to happen. And then the checks started coming in, and I was like, oh, okay. They weren't messing around. But then my eyes are opened to the industry of Christian music, which is, to me, a very unfortunate, even calling it an industry makes my heart a little grieved. Because, again, I come from 0 people in the room, $700 a month in Kansas City, in a 1-bedroom apartment, because I loved God and I wanted to sit in the prayer room and just worship him as much as I possibly could. So I start seeing that. And again, the equation is you write the song that blows up in the church. You are, within about a year, an instant millionaire. And it doesn't stop depending on what that song is like. And Reckless Love has gone like this, which is crazy. Like it hasn't stopped. And there are probably few songs that have done that. But I just saw, like Ezekiel's temple, like he sees all the junk in the temple and starts freaking out. I felt like when I was given the open door into that industry, I started seeing it all and went, I want nothing to do with any of this. And so Reckless Love is taking off. It's 2018. And my wife and I are, seeing all this and going, we have to make a change. So we, very similar to Forrest with Surfaces and all the things that he's chosen the better part so many times. And that's what I admire about Forrest. We just went, we're taking a whole year off at the height of this. My manager hated me. My label hated me because it was so monetarily successful. We could have gone and done the tours and done all those things. And we just went, we want to save our family and we want to save our hearts. So we took the entirety of 2019 off. We didn't do anything. No shows. I didn't write. I didn't release music. None of that. And we just took that time off. So that, if people know that about my background, I think that's helpful context for when I'm poking holes satirically, through all these videos that are very pointed. Like they're pretty intense for the most part. And I'm sure you've alluded to a few of those. But I'm poking holes because I want purity. I want authenticity. I want humility. I want people to actually do things for the right reasons and the right motives. And the quickest way for me to communicate that is typically a 1-minute-long satire video that's making fun of something, probably pretty pointed. But the point is, hey, let's do this the right way. Typically. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I'm a little off, but that's the goal for me. I want purity in that space. So I stepped away from that space, started making other music, whatever. So that's kind of where I'm coming from in all that.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you liked it, then hit the like button. If you liked it a lot and have a thought to share, leave a comment. If you are listening to this on the podcast app, make sure to leave a review, and you could even leave a comment over there. And if you want to watch another video that is recommended just for you, hit this video over here. Let me know if they nailed it. Also, you can partner with us monthly, which helps us out a lot in our monthly community, get access to early drops and all that kind of good stuff over here. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.